All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. I have a little busy of an afternoon, so I at least wanted to make this. I'll see what else I can do today. But this is live trading hours, so there's a little bit more than 30 minutes left. You're gonna see the percent move, you're gonna see the candle move, you're gonna see the price move, all right? But I really want to talk about SOFI because today did the job, all right? I actually mentioned this on Twitter yesterday if you were able to catch it, but yesterday seemed like it was ready to escape. Today has escaped. And look, I don't care if it's just by a penny. I would love for this to close in the next 32 minutes just at 914. Give me a penny above my 913 line and I would be super happy. And really quickly, I can even see this isn't necessarily a perfect line. So already getting into a couple more details that I'll get to shortly, right? But SOFI did the job, all right? When all the moving averages are this tight, you need a good candle to make you believe. And so far, I'm believing, all right? So excited to talk about this one. But before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do helps me so much with these YouTube algorithms, but for real, just being here, giving me your time, throwing some comments, oh my gosh, it does wonders and I am so grateful for it all right? So let's get into SOFI, all right? And before I talk about the immediate, before I even talk about this earnings pop, I really want to talk about this little run right here, all right? I very much like it when a stock makes a really good run not that long ago. All right, this was literally between November to almost January, all right? We're sitting in March right now. This is very recent to me. And when I see a stock that knows how to make a run, that knows how to break all 5 moving averages, that knows how to ride the 8 pretty well, believe me, I look for it to happen again, all right? So loving the recent run, despite the fact that we're not as high, all right? Next thing we'll talk about is the earnings, all right? And I was very honest. I made a video about it a couple days ago. I lost money right here. I thought that this earnings pop would do what most earnings pop do and continue. Instead, we came down way more than I expected. So the earnings fooled me. I keep going back to the Discord. There was a comment that basically said, look, though it was a positive number and the first positive number that they've dropped in a quarter, the operating costs to make that profit was ridiculous. Like I think they said that they netted like 50 million in profit, but they spent like 250 million to make it. That's horrible. No one wants to spend $5 to make $1. Like that's not what sustainability looks like, right? So regardless, the reaction was odd afterwards, and all of a sudden we started living within these lines, all right? I say it all the time, when just 3 of them, let alone all 5 of the moving averages are so close, it's like a tornado, all right? You get thrown up, you get sucked back down, you get thrown up, sucked back down, thrown up, sucked back down, and then like the lines have a mind of their own when they're this close, and generally you just go from the top to the bottom to the top to the bottom, like I just outlined, for almost the entirety of a month. Right? So, and I always go back to a couple other examples, right? Like they can last a really long time, all right? So why did I like things yesterday? Okay, so yesterday, though it wasn't much, look, I'm going to delete this line, all right? I'm going to delete the line. But I mean, and that's not even a perfect line, but you can see it, all right? So we tried, it's all about the 50 moving average for me, this red line right here. We tried to break it but couldn't, tried to break it but couldn't, tried to break it but couldn't, and then we tried here. I liked that this day was better than all the other attempts. I don't really care about the doji. It looks like it actually was higher than the doji as well, right? But I liked that this attempt was better than the last few, all right? Excuse me. Second off, what I did like going into yesterday, ooh, excuse me, two hiccups. We actually had a decent divergence on the MACD and it was already positive. We had a decent divergence on the RSI and it was at a very healthy number. And volume, look, volume was at least looking decent even when we were in horizontal. There was definitely more buying than selling, right? The problem when I zoom in and go away from that one big outlier day is none of the days were really starting to get even near the 50-day average. There was actually only one day, maybe you can say two in this zoom, that actually got over the line, right? I started to notice a little bit of an incline. I kind of started to make an assumption that the volume would come. I figured if we can actually make the escape, the volume would come as well, right? So I liked the MACD, I liked the RSI, I liked that we were getting close. I made some assumptions that if we went, it would go, right? So look, I said I would even love 14, right? We're already at 16, 17. We are pushing high of the day, right? As I click in the box over there, you can see the 917, the 916, 917 we're kissing right now. That's high of the day. I love it, all right? What was the close of this? The close of this day, I'm clicking on this 129, was 916. So you can see that's basically where we're dancing at right now, right? So get me over 916, and yeah, it's hard to expect anything other than 950 tomorrow. Hopefully we make the run all the way to 10 actually. But SOFI, I'm loving it. This is still a healthy 70. I think even if we go up to this 10, we should still be okay on the RSI because look at this thing. It was an 85, 85, 89. This thing was living in the 80s for weeks, right? So it knows what to do when it gets up there. And looky, right? Like we still haven't destroyed the 50-day average. I think tomorrow we'll destroy the 50-day average in terms of volume. I think we're going to get, if I had to guess, I think we're going to get a little more than 100 million shares tomorrow. All right. If I'm right, divided by 7, we should get about 14 million shares in the first hour, maybe 30 million shares in the first 2 hours. All right. That's kind of what I'm looking for. But SOFI, yesterday looked promising. Today looked good. Now, normally you would very much hear me say, look, yesterday was a good candle, broke a couple moving averages. Today was a great confirmation, I should believe, right? I think the one thing, and look, I am bullish, all right? Believe me, I am saying this more as a, you always remember the other side of the coin, all right? Because as confident as I was that 950 and 10 was, I think the reality is if this was going to come back down tomorrow, there's a decent chance that we come down to like 895, all right? Again, I think it's more likely that we go up toward 950, if not higher. Otherwise, hey, maybe we come back down a little bit yeah, this, I think 985 is a good number. I do. Let's take a look at the last 15 minutes. Let's just see what it looks like it's going to do. Oh, this should do really well in the last 15 minutes. I'm seeing an RSI that wants to peak up. I'm still seeing a MACD that's positive. We still have another almost 10 minutes left, and we should, I think, fill in the rest of that volume right there, right? So we're yeah. I like this. I do. I think that this is gonna do a little bit better than I think there's a shot that we come to here. I think we might even see 930-ish at the close today. That wouldn't surprise me. Let me take a look at the weekly really quick. If there's anything to see on the weekly, look, there's nothing to see on the weekly. All I really see is reassurance. All right, we are over all the moving averages on the weekly. We are over all the moving averages on the daily. There's no better place for your money than over all the moving averages on multiple time frames. All right. It is still early in the week, right? So let's not make any assumptions. We definitely want this candle to close. But yeah, I mean, let me just at least say from 10 to 12 could be a real nice 20% quick move too. All right. Obviously this is still a $9 stock, so don't really have like $12 dreams just yet, but yeah, I don't think that would surprise me in the coming weeks at all. All right. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Hey, I appreciate you so much.